Great. So now, there you go. Yay!
Can you
I
see
can
me?
see you. I can see you. Oh, yeah, I can see you. Thank you so much. I was taking time to let some folks know we are in the room so we can get this party started here. Thank you so much for coming in. How you doing tonight? Did you catch some of that storm?
No, a whole lot of it.
Yeah, man. So a lot of people are caught with no power, but I'm glad that you are good because, we got an interesting topic tonight. And Robert, some people out here don't know who you are, and they'll be coming on in. Some people come on in and come back and do the replay. But I want you to take a minute to tell
Okay.
some people that are going to watch this live, who is Robert Mitchner? Because before we talk about Our Youth Matters, we want to talk about who is Robert Mitchner and how this whole thing came about with the youth. So,
Okay. My story goes as this. I'm from Raleigh. I'm Robert Mitchner, Southeast Raleigh. I grew up, I went to high school at Broughton High School. Growing up in Southeast Raleigh High School, Southeast Raleigh, I grew up pretty much. My father worked just about all the time, so I had a father in the house, but he was gone all the time to work. He was a good, strong provider, but he wasn't the father that I needed to play football, basketball, things of that nature. He wasn't there for me for that. But as my years went on, I graduated from Broughton High School. I went to uh, Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina. I didn't graduate from there, but I left from there and I came to back home early, and you just still trying to find my way. Uh, and I took a job at the Sheraton Imperial. During the time back then, the Sheraton Imperial used to host this thing called the Duke's Children Classic.
mm-hmm,
The Duke's Children Classic, they would fly in different celebrities. The celebrities would help raise money for
mm-hmm.
kids. I was working at the Sheraton Imperial. I couldn't have been no more than about maybe 19 years old, in that range. And I was setting up for banquets.
Mm-hmm.
And I was moving this heavy table. And a man came in and he said, "Coach, if you don't lift that table the right way, you're going to hurt yourself." And so he put his bags down and he helped me lift the table and move it. And he said, "Coach," he called me coach as if I was a coach. He said, "Coach, when you get a chance, I want to finish talking to you. Come to my room." And he gave me his room number, but I felt kind of weary about it. And I didn't want to, because I just met the man, I didn't want to go to a strange man's room.
Right,
But I
right,
didn't know, but you never know where your blessing is coming from.
right, right.
So I went along with one of my friends to this man's room, and this man, once we got in the room, he began to tell us who he was, and he began to show us things that, by him being a celebrity, what he had accomplished. And he's in a Hall of Fame. His name is Lim Barney.
Okay,
He played for the Detroit Lions.
okay.
Well, we became very, very good friends, such good friends that I left here and I stayed probably about anywhere from 3 weeks to a month in Springfield, Michigan with him. And those 3 to 4 weeks was a change in life to me. He took a young man he did not know, and he allowed me to stay in his house.
Wow.
He entered into his life
Mm-hmm.
where celebrities, all of his commercials that he was doing, all of the autograph signing that he was doing, I was there. I was standing in the background. I was able to absorb and see these things. He always would let me know that I'm doing anything is possible. You can do it. Do what exactly what I'm doing. It's nothing different. I'm no better than you. So all you have to do is Be around the right people. Be around the right people. Everybody that you hang around, uh, you need to hang around people that can challenge you,
Right.
that will move you up the
Yes.
ladder, that encourage you to move
Yes.
up the ladder, that will not get jealous of you, that
Woo.
will not put you down.
Yes. Yes.
Um, those are people that you want to be around and to move up the ladder. So he taught me a lot. He introduced me to a lot of friends, and and I had, when I left him, I had a desire in me that it changed my whole life, my way of thinking. And as I got closer to the age of 21, he called me. He
Wow.
said,
You
"Coach,"
kept in touch.
he said, "Coach, are you? Can you come pick me up? I'm at the airport." And I said, "Sure." And I went and picked him up. And he said, "Hey, Coach, if you know where the high sheriff lives at, take me over there." And I took him over there. And at that time, it was John H. Baker.
Mm-hmm.
John H. Baker. He, uh, we went to the house. We got there at his kitchen table, and once we got there, he put his arm around me, and he said, "John, this is my friend. Take care of him."
Mm.
And that's how my career in law enforcement started.
Wow.
But in law enforcement, once being in law enforcement, I was able to hear. Find myself around kids all the time in court or whatever, and I could always hear their cries.
Wow.
And it took me back to where Lim Barney helped me.
Yes.
I then took the passion that he placed in my heart
Yes.
to help me. I then took that passion to help young youth. So that is why our Youth Matter started.
Is that
Our Youth Matter
it?
started off of Lim Barney, the Hall of Fame football coach,
Wow.
football player that helped me.
Wow.
And that's a short story. That's not all of the story, but that is how our Youth Matter started. That's how it birthed, because someone chose to help a young kid that I didn't know my way in life, and I didn't know what I was going to do in life. And so he opened up a door and that helped me. And here I am as an older man now, and within a month I'll be retired. And
How many?
that's the
How many years?
gift.
How many years?
It would be 30 years.
Wow.
It would be years that I've served. And that is a gift that God has given me, because he allowed one of his angels to watch over me, to help me and guide me through all these years. And so it's in me. God has placed that in me to give back. Our Youth Matters started off with no money. The money and things that I did for our Youth Matters would come out of my pocket. The
Yeah.
summer camps, the trips, the galas, all of this is going on. But my personality, it allowed me to become friends with a lot of celebrities,
Right.
such that these celebrities now play a big part in our Youth Matters, and they come to help raise money and do things. It's totally God's gift. I'm doing nothing but God's work. Um, it's not about me. It's about changing these young kids' life, because I feel like they have big dreams, they have big goals, and they want to make it in life. But that, sometimes they don't want a dream. It takes a while to get
Yes.
there, and they want it right
Right.
then.
Right. Right.
But as long as you keep fighting and fighting for it, it's gonna
Right.
come. It's just like I use the expression is like if you take your hand and you punch a wall, and you punch it in that same location over and over, eventually that wall is going to cave in. That is how your blessing is. Your blessing may not come right then, but it's coming because God hears you and He hears your
Wow.
cries. And,
Let
you
me ask you
know,
this, Robert. So recently here in the area, you did a cooking show. Is that sign behind you? Does that say Our Youth Matter, that blue sign?
yeah, it said Our Youth Matter. I did the cooking show was dry. I took it back. I took it back real deep. And you may remember this, some things back when I was growing up, and my mother would leave me and my three sisters in the house. She would always tell us, don't touch that stove.
Right,
If you get hungry, fix your sandwich. Uh, yeah, get some chips or something, but do not touch that
right.
stove. So I decided to teach young kids how to cook and what to cook when left at home
Wow,
alone.
wow.
So I started. We have shot now 4 episodes. The first episode has it should be airing now, and we're going back to shoot some more.
Now, where'd it air?
And I just
On TV?
well, we're actually in my
I know,
house.
where's it going to
We're
air?
airing.
Where's it going to air?
YouTube. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have on YouTube right now. Right now it's on YouTube. It's on my webpage, www.ouryouthmatters.org, and my Facebook page right as of right now.
So y'all taught them how to cook. Y'all taught them how to
Yes,
cook.
well, I had a chef. I had a chef in here, and we had to have a celebrity guest. Our first celebrity guest was Brian
I
Dawson,
saw
of
that. I
course.
saw that.
He was in here, and we switch out the young kids all the time, and just teaching them just little basic skills, little things that they can reach in the cabinet and make without using the stove, without using that heat, and to kill that hunger pain just until their parents get
And
home.
how old were the children that participated?
The kids that we had now, the 12, 13, and 14, in that range that we have, the ones that we switch them off, we'll go as low as long as I don't believe in putting an age on a child, because sometimes these kids mature at an early age and they listen. So long as they listen and they understand and behave, uh, you can work with them, but and they can be as early as 7, 8 years old.
Wow.
And I don't like to just say. Some people say, "Hey, how young do you start? How old do you start?" I really don't like to put an age on it as young as as long as they. I just like to say, would they listen? Would they obey? Would they, just obey and listen and pick up so we can teach them
So what did
things.
the children
But
say when you did this? How did they react? Did they enjoy it?
oh wow, the kids always, because everything that I do is free. Just like I did a football camp. Everything that I do, from the t-shirts to the Gatorade bottles to everything that I do, I never ever charge a kid. Although and their parents could be very well wealthy, but I feel like you're taking money from the child. To me, when I was growing up, I couldn't ask my mother for $25 registration
Right.
fee. I could not ask my daddy for $25. That was a no-no.
Mhm.
They didn't have that. No, you couldn't do that. So I feel like if I ask you to register your child, or give me $25 for your child to and register your child, I feel like I'm taking from the child, not from the parent.
Wow.
So I don't charge anything. Now I do ask you to register your child, but it's not costing you anything.
So
It's just registered so we can have the information, and we'll email and how old they are, and emergency contact, little stuff like that. But my stuff do not cost
So let
anything.
me reset the room real quick. If you're just coming in, thank you so much. Share this video because, guys, this is something different. This is a young man who's doing something to empower the children. Robert Mitchner is making youth matter. And he even wrote a book about it. And what he's doing is he's reaching back into the communities to mentor the children who live around the block. And his story challenges people of influence to spend time with youth, developing meaningful interactions beyond the one-time encounter. And he's saying that the reason why he did this is because someone took time out with him. And you know, many of you, some of you are educators and you work in the court system and you see these troubled children. This is a man who heard their cry and decided to start an organization. And how long has it been since you started Our Youth Matters now, Robert?
Wow, it's been 14, just a little bit over 14 years.
Wow.
Now. It was tough starting it, but now it's, it's starting to get noticed.
And so
on a more level, bigger level
in 15 years, you have had events to pour back into the children. For 15 years, you have helped children, never charged the child nothing, never charged the parent. I don't know if you guys caught this, but he said even if the children are coming from a wealthy household, he did not charge the children because he did not want to take from the child's mouth, because he knows the parents have to take care of the children. So that's deep right there. So that's a deep love right there. So Our Youth Matters. Have you ever thought about doing it outside of North Carolina? Have you ever thought about expanding? Have people asked you about if you could do something outside of North Carolina?
Oh, absolutely. When I first started the program, I went to Atlanta. Atlanta school system would love me to have it there, but I hadn't done anything with it yet. But so they asked me to do it in my own backyard first, then come back and see them. But that's been now over 15 years. But I'm finna turn it up a little bit now, because within the next month to month and a half, I will be retired. So I'm finna turn the notch up a little bit and get a little more active. And I'm gonna stretch my arms out for those that's willing to help and be beside me. You see, because what we're doing, we are changing lives and saving souls, but we also are changing some of these. I strongly believe by being in law enforcement that we create our own criminals.
Now let me tell you, let me tell you what you have here. Young lady, that happens to be my daughter too, by the way. She is a regional director over schools. She's in the DMV area, but she's about to go to Nashville. She just said, come on to Nashville, Tennessee. She can bring you there to do a workshop or to do something. She's over a private school. It's kind of like Ravenscroft here. It's on that level.
Right.
And what she's saying, and Rochelle, I would love to bring you in if you want to talk to him about what you would like to see him happen. I would love for you to come on camera if you are presentable to talk to Robert about what you would like him to come to Nashville to do. He does this from the heart. It's a charter school. Okay, so she's saying it's a charter school, and she would love to bring you there to Nashville, Tennessee. And I don't know what it is you'd like to do. Can you write in the comments of what it is that you foresee for him? If he came to Nashville, would you want him to speak? Would you want him to do a workshop for the teachers? You're eating ice cream. It's okay. We talk about the children. She's over the schools, but that's really good. So that's someone right there that's educated. And I'm followed by many educators. Matter of fact, another young lady, the first one that came on, Val, are you still here? Because Valerie, the one who said she's exceptional, she also works for a school in New York City. So this right here could very well open up a door for you to go to different places and do workshops, or even just expose the organization and get more donations. But not only that, but just help people understand how we can reach these children, because these children need to be reached. They need to be reached. A lot of them are being ignored at home. So what she said,
I think, and also, it's a lot of kids. It's just like being in school. When you have a child that's a teacher ask a question, and they raise their hand, and they want to be called on, but the teacher overlooks them. So and they call on someone else, and they're busy raising their hand. Sometimes the kid just wants that attention. A lot of kids that's locked up now, it's not because yes, they did commit the crime, but they also wanted the attention.
Yes.
And they wanted to be noticed. and some of them are there for the wrong reasons.
Wow.
But this is one big thing about our Youth Matters. We're here to try to help to actually change these young kids that the parent has no choice to work all the time, and it leaves the child pretty much there to raise themselves or the older sibling to raise the minor kids. And we're our Youth Matters is there to help guide them, help and say, hey,
Okay, so let me show you.
we're
Let,
here
let me
to.
stop you for 1 minute because I don't know if you're reading the comments because I know that you're new to Instagram, but I want you to see what's happening. So she said, you see the comments, she said all of the above. He could lead workshops or do some of his program for our kids. Then she said, we have 22 schools, she said, in our network across the country. Please connect us and I will make sure to collaborate with him. 22 schools.
Oh, I would definitely love that. I love that because I am retiring within a month and a half, and I am going to turn it up a notch, which has been turned up. So here's the big thing about my celebrity friends. So I the kids nowadays, they are so tuned in to football and basketball, and I feel like we as people have created all of these celebrities. We create them. We buy the tickets, we buy the music, we buy their clothes. It's time for us to ask them for something back. We are giving, and creating, making them more wealthier, but they're not. We're having trouble at home with our own kids, and this is the kid that's wearing your tennis shoes or wearing your clothes or whatever. So the celebrities that I'm involved with, that is what we do. We come back. I bring them in. That's I bring them in to go into the schools to touch some of these kids. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan walked into a school and touched a child and looked them in the eye and said, "Hey, I know you can make it.
Yes.
You can make these straight A's. You can do it. Work hard." It'll be just like, oh man,
But
it'll be like a god. And that is why one reason why I love Muhammad Ali. Look at some of the videos of Muhammad Ali, how he would go into the school system, how he would sit down and play with the kids. The kids will never forget that. The kids listen to someone they idolize. Sometimes the kid actually idolize the celebrity more than they do their own parent.
can I tell you something?
You see?
Back in the 90s, that's what I used to do, Robert. I used to bring the celebrities. I used to work in collaboration with Sony Records. I bought in the 69 Boys, Shabba Ranks. I bought Shabba Ranks and he went to the schools. And here's the thing, I took Shabba Ranks over there to on the North Street. What's that school on the North Street right there, that middle school? Is it Lincoln? And we did a celebrity
Right.
game. So that I'm with you. You are absolutely right. The 69 Boys, Tootsie Roll, when they sat in that classroom at Inlow High School and they were talking to those children, the boys were saying pretty much like they were thanking them because they were saying people don't. I had Kenny Lattimore. I brought Kenny Lattimore into the schools. I did it with a lot of artists.
Right.
And they were grateful for these people taking time to come in and talk to them. Michael Speaks. It was gospel artists, R&B artists, different people. I actually had Usher, but I actually didn't know who Usher was and turned him down at the time. Wouldn't you believe that? Heavy D, a couple of them, and that's why I said, I want to get with you because you're doing what I love. This is what I love. I love the children, and my daughter could tell you that because I've
And,
dragged them
and,
along.
and here's the thing. It's just like my celebrity friend that started me off. We can't put these celebrities on a platform like they
No,
gods. We can't. When we bring them into school, we bring
as
them in
people.
and don't put them on that stage. Put them down there where the kid can touch them and see them
That's right.
and talk to them. You know, uh, because they're no better than us. They just been given a different chance in life, and we have made we. When I say we the citizens, we the fans, We have created them. We have paid their salaries. So it's time for us to ask for them to give back to us, because some of these celebrities, they make millions
That's
and
right.
trillions
That's right.
of dollars, and it's no way that we should be having all these kids killing one
That's
another
right.
and harming each other. But we got this guy that we helped make all these millions and give back.
That's right.
I mean, it should be some kind of clause in their contract that you must give back to these schools. You must come back to to these
To the neighborhood. Go back to the hood.
neighborhoods. I'm
Listen, but
sorry,
Robert,
to the
but look what
neighborhoods.
happened. And that's, it's so funny you saying that. You just bring us. I did an event for 3 years called Back to the Hood. Right there. And but here's the thing. Look at what happened with the rap artist that went back and then he got killed over there. You remember that? So some artists don't want to go back, and you're in law enforcement. So what would you say from what you've seen in 30 years in law enforcement that needs
Right.
to change, that could possibly make it more appealing to these artists?
Well, here's the thing. Now, it is true. Whom you hang around is how your lifestyle is going to be. I'm not saying not go back, and it's trouble over there in that area. Well, if you're going to try to help clean up the area, and you know that they're gang related, until you know that this stuff has been cleaned up, then have this right security around there. I mean, sometimes we as people, we try to, sometimes we don't provide security. We don't. Security is definitely needed, around the areas. And I'm not saying not go back, because the area is going to always exist. So we have to do something to come back. So I'm saying that to always have security around that. That's no way around that. And I don't want bad things to happen, but sometimes things happen and it's out of our control.
Yes.
And I'm sorry
Yes,
for
it
that.
is. Now let me ask you this, Robert. Can you move? Because right now, can you move your location a little bit? Because you're getting blurry. So I don't know if it's you
What
move.
am I blurry
Yeah, you
right
got
now?
blurry a little bit. So I want to make sure it wasn't the Wi-Fi. But I want to ask you this: 30 years with the sheriff department, and you have Our Youth Matters. With the big,
And I got a book.
yeah, and the book Our Youth Matters. So I want you to make sure that you tell us what that is. We're going to type that in. Rochelle, can you type in where can they get the book, how much it costs, and what the book is about? I want you to touch on that. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. When they
Okay.
had the mass shooting in Texas, and they talked about wanting to bring guns into school, what was your take on that?
They want to bring guns into the school.
Yeah, you remember?
My take on that. My take on that is this: that and when I was
I mean,
growing
for
up,
the
we didn't
teachers,
have the
the
security.
teachers, they talk about giving the teachers guns. What is your take on that?
Well, the trouble that they're having now, I mean, I don't think, my thing is, teachers, if you're not properly trained, see, a law enforcement officer is actually trained. They know when to pull that weapon, how to pull it, how, the safeties and everything. If you're not properly trained, no, you shouldn't even have a weapon on you. Just don't get a weapon because you just want one, because you can just, and then too, you can be careless with it, and one of the wrong students can grab it.
That's right.
No, I don't think. In my personal opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, I don't think that teachers should bring any kind of weapon into the school.
I agree.
Now, do they need to beef up security, maybe police officers or security around the school? Yes, but giving a teacher a weapon and allowing them to bring it in there amongst kids. Think about it now. If your child was sitting in there knowing that your school teacher has a weapon on them, would you feel good about that? I don't think I feel comfortable that my daughter's teacher is carrying a weapon on them at all time. I don't. I just that's just
I
me.
don't like it either. Now,
Yeah.
JB from the ed, he said until the school board and the student relationship is secured amongst each other under respect, I'm against the gun on teacher concept. I agree with you, JB, for sure. Many of us are against it for sure, and so we're definitely against that. I see somebody asking to come in. Who is that? Shay Shank. Do I know you? Because I tell you, I don't like bringing in somebody I don't know because I got to know who you are. Let me look you up over here. I don't mind you coming in. If you are somebody I know and you have some value to bring to this conversation, I have no problem with bringing you on. But Shay Shank, I got to look you up and see who you are before I bring you in because y'all know how it is in these IG streets sometimes. And I know there's a lot of valuable people out here that I associate with, but I got to do my due diligence to make sure, you know. Now, Robert, in the meantime, what's next for Our Youth Matter? Talk about your concept, what you think about doing next for the children. And if there's anybody out here besides Rochelle that says she would like you to come to Tennessee, how can they reach you if they would like to bring you to their city or like you to come to their school? How can they reach you?
Oh well, you can go to my website and you can leave a message. My website is www.ouryouthmatters.org, and you can leave your contact information there, and I can get it and I can respond back to you there, and his email address is on there also. And my number is 919-795-8609. And and what's next for Our Youth Matters. I'm in the process now of shooting a kids talk show where we ask the kids different questions. I want to know what's in their mind, what they are thinking about, all their goals, things that they want to achieve. And we ask those questions. I mean, as far as what kind of food you
Right,
like, what foods you don't
right.
like. And we ask all these questions and we get those answers from these kids. And this lines up with when they have the PTA meetings, some
Mm-hmm.
of the things that we can give back to the teacher and say, hey, when you're teaching, this is what some of the kids are asking. It's because some kids are scared to throw their opinions and things that they like out there. So I just wanted to address letting the kids talk, and so I write down answers and questions and what their response is, and some of the things that I can go and dress the school with and the teachers with, or perhaps give it to the parent and
Yes.
let the parent address it.
Now, JB,
And
from the ed, I see that you are also from Detroit, and I see that you do things with young guys too. Do you do some work with some children? See, this is what it's about: networking, people who are doing things with children from different cities and states, collaborating and coming together. So that's good. So a talk show. So I would love for you to come on. We could set something up for you to have the children. There may be some parents here who would like their children to participate. And if we could set something up virtually, because there may be some people out of state, would that be an option?
absolutely, absolutely, anything for a kid. We'll find a way to work something out. My thing is when a kid reaches out for help, we have to pay attention and we need to help. I always say this: when I was growing up, one of my good friends, uh, he would leave. He's a pharmacist, and he would leave his house every day, and it would be a kid on the corner, and he would always compliment him on the way he was dressed, the car he drove, everything. It was like every daily, and he would tell me that this young kid is complimenting him. I said, well, pull over and explain to them how you got the nice car, the nice clothes, what you do for a living, how you work hard. Talk to him because he's reaching out for you. He wouldn't be giving you all these compliments. But I said to him, if you don't take that time, that same kid will be the next kid that break in your house or do something around your house. you know. So he said, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. I'll be in a rush when he sees him. I said, okay, you're gonna regret it. It wasn't even 2 weeks later. Him and a group of guys broke into his house.
Wow. Wow.
And so I just say take time to get to know these kids, because some of these kids, they looking to change. They don't want to be in gangs. All of them don't want to be in gangs. You just got to show them a meaning of life. You got to show them that you can make it. It just take hard work. Nothing comes easy. That easy and fast things, they don't last long. They come with a
Right.
consequence.
And now there's some people that I know that I have a young lady that does something out here where she talks to gang members once a week. She has a podcast she does on Thursdays. She calls it Game Thursdays, and she talks to the guys and she really ministers to the guys and talks to them about that. So Instagram is pretty good about people connecting and speaking with people and trying to motivate individuals. So I love that about Instagram, and it's another way for people to network and connect. So anybody who has any questions for Robert, please there's a question box on the bottom. You can put that in, and on the top there is an arrow. If you click the arrow on the top, you'll see my name and you'll see his name. Follow him, and I'll make sure that I connect him with you, Rochelle. But follow him, and Rochelle, I would love it if you would put the ice cream down and come on and just meet him and just let him know about the schools that you're working with and what it is, what the opportunity is. I know you brought in many other people already, and I sent your invite, so nobody can see anything else. If you can come on and just introduce yourself and tell him about, so he knows you're serious about this thing for Tennessee and what you foresee him doing in the school system, because she's one of the decision makers and she understands the need, and that's why she said immediately she would definitely have you come out there. They would bring you out there easily. She's done that with many people, and so as a person with this, you have a big fundraiser coming up, here locally. When are you going to start doing something outside of North Carolina? Is that in the foreplan?
It's definitely in the foreplay. And the reason why I do the fundraiser, that allows everything. What you do for the kids, it does cost money, and money, it has to come from somewhere. And the camps and the tours and things that I do with the kids. So what I do is I have these fundraisers, and I take that money and I flip it back into the community. I use the celebrities to do a comedy show. After I have paid the people that worked in the event or whatever, I take the proceeds that's made and I use that on the kids. It may be a camp. It may be right now. I'm putting together a college tour where we're just going to colleges. Um, I do quite a bit for the kids, and
Do you need any
um,
volunteers, or are you looking for donations or volunteers? All that they can do on your
it's
website.
always, yeah, we always, if you go to my webpage, it's an application there for volunteers. I never turn down volunteers. So we're looking for donations, whatever, and you can go to the webpage www.ouryouthmatters.org, and on that webpage you got where you can donate. You got where you can also uh, you can donate and fill out the information to volunteer. So I never turn down a volunteer. I never turn down no donations or anything. But that is, I try to, and I love myself a grant. I love a grant,
So a grant writer would be good. You need a grant writer?
but the grants also, I don't turn down grants, but the grants also limited you or what you're doing and what you do. If I see this child needs some shoes or some socks or some clothes or something, I don't want to have to answer to a grant that I went and bought this
That's
child
right.
suits, and I bought this child clothes, and I also put some food in his fridge at home.
Wow.
I don't want to have to answer to a grant for that.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to raise my own money so I won't have the limitations, because some of these kids, some of them don't know where the next food is coming from, or when they only allow when they go to school to get food.
Wow.
So if I can take money that I raise to go and stock that refrigerator, or buy them a Thanksgiving dinner, I don't want to. A grant is not gonna take care of that for
That's
us,
right.
So, and I don't want to be in trouble with a grant because I did those
That's right.
things,
That's right.
But I will take grants, but I have to raise my own money for other things.
Well, tell the people if they are in the area, when is your event coming up that you have coming up? Tell the people when that is. If you're in the North Carolina area, Raleigh, North Carolina, tell the people what you have coming up.
August 27th, I have Our Youth Matters Black Tie Gala. It starts at 6 o'clock. It's going to be at the Memorial Auditorium, downtown Raleigh. It's We have, right after the Black Tie Gala, we have
A comedy show.
comedy. We have Chris Thomas, Honest John, Michael Collier. We have Pierre Edwards. We have Brian Hooks. Brian Hooks played on Soul Plane, Eve show. This is right after the Get Black
And
Tie Gala.
Afton Croft too. What's his name? The other one. You have the other one too. You have another comedian.
Who?
Don't you have another one? Alton. What's the other guy's name? Don't you have one more comedian?
No. I named all of
Okay.
them. Honest John, Brian Hooks, Chris Thomas, Michael Collier, and Shucky Ducky. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Shucky Ducky. I didn't. Shucky Ducky is gonna be there also.
Okay.
And I have Allison Williams should be performing there, and I don't know if y'all remember her. She sung that song, "Just Call My Name."
Okay. You sing
Nah,
to you.
I can't.
You talking about just call my name? Okay. All right. All right. I
Yeah,
see. So
and
listen.
she should be performing, and these are ways that I'm just being creative and trying to raise the money for these kids. Also, my book that I would be selling my book there. The proceeds goes towards, I want to build my own school,
Wow.
and my own school. And so the proceed goes towards the building of my own school.
How much is the book?
So
How much is the book, and where can they get
it's
it?
$35. It's right now. It's on Amazon. It's called Making Youth Matter.
Make.
Making Youth Matter,
That's good. They
and
need to put that.
that's the name of it.
Yeah, that needs to be a workshop
Making
in the
Youth
school.
Matter.
Jay Terrell in the building. Hey, comedian Jay Terrell, how you doing? Another law enforcement officer who can attest to the need for what you're doing for children. He worked in the schools, and just call my name and I'll come running. Hey, Dre. And so he has a heart for children too, definitely. So I know you know Jay Terrell, correct? So
Absolutely, that's one of my good friends.
yeah, Jay Terrell is definitely a good one. We appreciate him. He's been on here and talked to us before too. And Jay Terrell is he believes in the children. Jay, come on up here and say hello to him. He believes in the children. He supports the children as well. And Jay is definitely one for the children. How you doing, man?
Hey,
What's it like?
I was looking for my hat because I ain't got a haircut. You know, I haven't shaved in months. I look rough. I hit the I'm on join button and couldn't find my hat.
Lord Jesus, how you doing? How you doing? Listen, so let me ask you something. Give me a little bit more light. Let me ask you a question. We got about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and I just want to bring you on to say hello because I know that you worked in the schools as well. How important is what Robert does and the message he's sending out with Our Youth Matters? Because I know you know what he does here locally. What? Tell Robert what you think about what he's doing out here and how important.
Oh, I think it's great because he's a good guy. and I know he has a big heart for kids, just like I do, like you do, and that he's continuing to do it. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to be in law enforcement and all the scrutiny and everything we go through, and the things that are said about us to our face, behind our back, in the media, and all that. But yet we still find time to still try to do good and lead the way, and have, do things for kids and the people who are just like us, who are trying to do for kids. So the thing that what he's doing, the people he got, judges, lawyers, the outside people, outside of law enforcement, the judicial system, what he's doing is awesome. And I want to give you your flowers, brother, while you here, and thank you for what you're doing. And if you ever need me, even though I'm not in law enforcement, as far as locking them up, I do have my own bail bonding company, so I do try to keep kids out of jail. Still,
All right.
I try to keep them out by being an SRO, but I try to keep them out now by being a bail bondsman. But I also motivational speaking with my comedy. So whenever you need me, just let me know. I'm here for you. Here to help
I
out.
will.
Wow.
I
Well, I
appreciate you.
thank you so much, Jezebel, for doing that.
Yes,
Facebook
sir.
has limited this thing, so we're probably going to be cut off in about 5 minutes, so I want to let him. But I thank you so much for coming up and telling him that I appreciate you, because I appreciate you for what you've done in the school system for the children, too. And out here in the streets, in law enforcement, we appreciate you guys because y'all put your lives on the line. And so you're important. So we definitely do want to say thank you for that. So I thank you for coming up and giving him his flowers. I do appreciate that. I want to allow him to have some closing comments. So I'm going to drop you down real quick, okay, Jay? But I
All right, all
appreciate you.
right.
Thank you so much. Robert, any closing comments you want to tell the people about what you're doing? And we'll come back again. We used to have a little bit more time, but Instagram only gives us about an hour, and it cuts off about 5 minutes, too. So I know it's going to do it. So I want to let you get your closing comments in.
Well, I just basically want just one thing. I basically want to thank God for you and allowing me to sit on this session. And I just want those that's listening to find a heart to help save. It doesn't have to be with my organization. It could be with somebody else's organization. Just reach out and help save some of these kids. So what you are doing is actually changing for the future. You're reducing the crime rate for the future. So it doesn't have to be with Our Youth Matters. I would love it for you to be to work in Our Youth Matters to help change this world. But as long as you're doing something with these young kids, because we can't do too much and change the way things are now, but we can change things for the future, and the kids are the future.
They most definitely are. And I want to thank you for coming up and just sharing that. I look forward to us coming back on the 17th with Chris Tucker. And, we'll talk about some things, bringing the kids up, because we need to hear their voices. We need to hear their voices. They're crying out. And parents, maybe we need to hear from some of the parents about some ways and get a forum going. So I want to thank you so much. And now you know how to come on Instagram, so you'll be ready for the 17th when we come with Chris. And we'll keep this thing going. I'm going to send you a collaboration so this can be on your page as well. So if you set this collaboration, this video will show up on your page, and I'll walk you through that process, how to do that, okay? So for those of you who are here, once again, please, please, please follow Robert Mitchner. Been in law enforcement 30 years. He has Our Youth Matters. He's had that for 15 years. He was touched by a professional football player in the Hall of Fame, and he took what he did for him, and now he's giving it back to the children. If you want to donate, go to www.ouryouthmatters.org. If you want to get involved or you need him to come to your school or your city to do a workshop, reach out, reach out, reach out. If you can't reach him, reach me, and I'll put you in contact with him, and just let him know you saw him here on Storytime with Shout Crystal. God bless you all. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm your Hope Catalyst. I say keep hope alive. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. Once again, Robert, we appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Share this live. Okay? We be out here sharing all this silly stuff, this funny stuff. This is for the children. You have children, you have cousins, you have nieces, nephews. This is for the children, y'all. Share the video. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming through. This has been another segment of Storytime, and we'll be back for more. Catch us Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we want to thank you so much. And look for the links in this post for his website, for his book, and for everything for the event so you can get tickets. And we'll see you there. Thank you, Robert. God bless you, brother. Love you. And
All
we'll
right.
talk soon.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one,
All right.
everybody.